we up?
We are up and running whenever you're ready.
I was born ready.
Born ready?
Hey guys, it's Ron Bass. Yep, that's me. With another edition of The Ron Bass Show. Your source for inspiration, encouragement, motivation, dry humor, Mr. Brent Atterbury.
Hey,
Hey, Hayes for Horses.
I had kind of a low battery today,
Oh.
but I put a new one in and we're good to go.
We're good to go. That's going to make everybody happy. Well, some people happy. Hey guys, a couple interesting things happened this week. Well, one in particular thing that happened that was really cool I want to share.
Okay.
So, a couple days ago, maybe yesterday it was, I see these two young guys walking up and down the street in front of my building. Like probably 11, 12, 13-year-old kids, right? And I could tell they had a Windex in one hand and a rag in the other hand. So I said to myself, yeah, they're probably knocking on doors trying to do window cleaning, right? I've seen this before. I've seen this picture show before. At any rate, about an hour later, guess who walks by my back door? The same two kids. And they were, oh my God, they were startled when they saw me, I guess. Like, what's going on here? They didn't realize that the back door would be open and I would be sitting there. At any rate, I said, what's up? And they said, oh yeah, we want to clean your windows. And I said, well, how much? So the one kid said $5. The other kid said $30. I said, no, wait a minute. You're saying 5, you're saying 30. Something's not adding up here. Make a real long story short, I just had this really good feeling about these two kids. It reminded me of me when I was their age, ambitious, going door to door, selling things, and I said to myself, let's see what happens. I said, how about, and so they came inside the dojo, and he said, oh yeah, I used to do karate, and I used to do taekwondo, and I said, have you ever done jiu-jitsu? No, we've heard a lot about it. And I said, okay, that's cool. You could tell they were very mature for their age. So I came up with this idea. I said, I'll tell you what, how about if I give you like $5, but instead of the other $25 in cash, let's use that as a trade for your enrollment fee to come into our gym. We charge $100 a month, but that's for the whole family. So you guys can act like maybe your brothers, and that way you'll only owe like another $75. Oh yeah, let's do that. And I said, okay. So they cleaned the windows, did a great job. And about 30 minutes, 45 minutes later, the kid tried to give me some money. I said, no, I don't want your money. I just want you to come in and train. And if you'll come in and clean the office every week, clean my dojo every week, I'll just trade with you. Because I had one of my other students that was doing it, but he didn't want to do it anymore, so he's just been paying me now. Okay, I said, but listen, you got to talk to your parents. I don't want any problems. Invite your parents to come in and make sure we're legitimate, make sure they're okay with it, and so forth and so on. I said, okay. So they called their parents. Parents seemed cool. And they said, so at the end of the meeting, they said, well, we'll come back tonight. I said, okay. I thought to myself, yeah, maybe, right? Sure enough, about 30 minutes before class, they rolled up on their bicycles.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. It was so cool. And I had them, I said, introduce yourself to everybody. So all night long, I had them introducing themselves to all my different students in the gym, particularly our colored belts. And it was just a really cool night, really cool experience. And I felt so good that it worked out, right?
Yeah.
So they say they're going to come back tonight. We'll see. Any rate, you just never know who you're going to run into. And you never know who's going to walk in the door, so to speak. And I mean, could be your door, right?
Yeah. Well, hats off to them for being entrepreneurial and
very
going
much
out and trying to make a little extra money.
Yes.
And then in the same action, they stumble into a situation that's going to help them be better mentally and physically too.
Yes.
So,
And they really did good last night. You could tell, even though they're, I think one's 11 and one's like 14, you could tell they really picked it up quick.
Really?
Yeah, I was watching them the whole evening, and
good.
it was really impressive. So hopefully they'll come back tonight. Hopefully they'll stick around. There's only like 1 out of 10 students that actually stick around in martial arts. Most people quit. It's too hard. One of my other students that came in the other night and came in last night, she's a 50-year-old retired military lady, but she was a power lifter. So she's real strong, real physically fit for her age, and but last night at the end of the session, she was, she said, Ron, I got to get back in shape. I said, well, you're physically strong, but the cardio that's required to do wrestling or jiu-jitsu is a different kind of requirement. I said, that's why I'm in the gym every day doing cardio so that I can keep up with these young guys. And she said, well, she's going to get back on the elliptical. That's her favorite thing to do because her knees are bad or hurting her. So she's going to do the elliptical, which doesn't put as much pressure on the knees. I said, cool. But that's another example of somebody that wants to get their life straightened out. So we're going to talk about that today a little bit.
Wow.
Like,
hey,
look, huh? I'm sorry.
Are Are you going through puberty? Your voice is cracking.
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a cold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know why that was happening.
Yeah. But you know what? You just push through.
Oh.
You don't make excuses. We're going to talk about that.
That's today's podcast.
That's part of today's podcast. Look, guys, let's work on self-image. Let's work on our self-worth, our self-respect. Look, we've got to promote ourselves to a higher level of self-respect. And how are we going to do that? Now, we've talked about all these things before, and sometimes I use examples. Sometimes I just like to talk straightforward about these sorts of things. We have to focus on self-improvement. And how do we do that? Well, follow the rules. We talk about that all the time. The rules really aren't that complicated, guys, but for some reason, we just want to make excuses, and we can't do that. You know, we have to take pride in ourselves, and we don't do that enough. Like when somebody, like the other night, I noticed somebody was given a compliment, and how did they respond? Oh, thank you, but I don't really think that's probably the truth, or oh, you don't have to say that, or oh, I'm not really that good at that. No. If somebody gives you a compliment, the simplest thing to do is just respond by saying thank you. That's all you got to say. We talk about this all the time. I learned this years ago. Even if in your mind you're thinking to yourself, I don't deserve that compliment. Yes, you do. You do deserve the compliment. If somebody gives you a compliment, they mean it. Well, hopefully they mean it. I thought about this the other day. I was going to compliment somebody that I don't really like, but I was going to say to that person, you sure look fit today. I didn't really want to say anything because that person kind of did me dirty one time, but I did it anyway. I thought to myself, hey, Ron, just take the high road. Let them feel good about themselves. They're probably already feeling crappy about themselves because they're doing a lot of mean things to people, saying a lot of nasty things, lying about people, lying to people. And I thought, okay, what's it going to hurt you to compliment that person? So I did. Sometimes, guys, you just have to go, the extra mile, so to speak, right? Okay. Look, guys, we have to quit beating ourselves up all the time. When we get complimented, take the compliment, be gracious, and simply say thank you. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we beat ourselves up too much, guys. We got to quit doing that. Because remember, you become what you think about. You become who you surround yourself with. Oh, I'm in trouble today.
You are in trouble.
Yes.
You said something earlier that you were going to compliment someone. You're afraid to possibly do it because you didn't know what was going to happen.
Yes.
I heard or read where I guess Howie Mandel. I don't know if he was on The View or what, but they said to him, "Boy, you really look good for your age," and he got upset.
Yeah, he got upset
because they shouldn't have said for your age.
Right. I've heard that before.
And so he didn't like that compliment.
Well, come on, man. Be gracious about things. People are don't be so serious about things like that, guys.
Yeah.
Be lighthearted. Look, be serious about your goals. That's a big deal. And look, here's a goal. We give up our bad habits.
Oh, there you go.
Learn to
Everybody
have more.
Can do that.
Yeah, learn to have more control over your destiny. And how do you do that? By being focused on self-improvement. That's what this podcast is all about. We want to have some fun and we want to laugh and we want to kid around a little bit, but the reality is all these things that we talk about are just little nuggets that maybe you can chew on. Get it? Chew on?
I like it.
I like that.
I like nuggets.
And maybe get some value from it. It's Brent and I's life's experiences that we're sharing, and sometimes we just do it straight up like this. Sometimes we use stories like the story that I told when we first started the podcast about the two kids. Whatever it takes to get the point across, we've been through this enough times that what we've learned to do is manage uncomfortableness to where it doesn't stop us from setting goals and accomplishing goals. Is it uncomfortable when you have things happen that aren't good? Yes. I don't ever want to paint this picture that everything's just wonderful. It isn't. Mm-mm. Life's challenging, man. You're going to get up in the morning and I got a cold this morning. Where did that come from? How come that happened? Because I'm going face to face with people every night on the mats, because I'm going to the gym every day and touching all this equipment, and I'm washing my hands constantly. It's not perfect, man. You're going to have challenges, and that's okay. learn to hit things head on, figure out solutions, get through it, and keep moving. In a day or two or three or four, the cold will be gone. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. Is it affecting my sleep? Yes. Do I like it? No. But have I been through this before? Many times. So I know it's going to run its course, and I'm going to feel better, and we're going to keep moving. I'm not going to use it as an excuse not to work out today. After our podcast, I'm going to go work out in the next couple hours. I may do a little bit different workout. I may not do as heavy as a workout, but I'm going to work out. I'm going to go to the gym regardless. I'm not going to use this as an excuse. But if I do it too hard, that's probably not smart. So I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. But that's okay. I'm still going to go to the gym.
Aren't you afraid of losing your Barry White voice? That low voice.
I am afraid of losing my Barry White voice. That guy was a hell of a singer, man. I saw an article about him recently. I know who it was. It was a backup singer who met him. And it was like luck of the draw that she met him and was actually employed by him for a lot of years. And she said he was something else, man. When she first met him, he was like wearing this, the way he was dressed, the way he was carrying himself was so eloquent. And she was just so impressed with him. But he is obviously super impressive. I can't remember what happened to him.
I don't know.
He died of something.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think it was a super unfortunate event. Because the guy was probably really super fit, but
Yeah.
it's like you just never know. You can be super fit and still have problems. That's the point I'm trying to make. But the other side of the coin is let's enjoy our life, guys. Let's enjoy our life. So how do we enjoy our life? Get some rest, eat right, work out, be around good people. Get rid of the bad people. Life's too short to be in relationships, whether it's friendship or romantic, where you're struggling every day. It's not worth it. Break the bad habits. It's okay to have change in your life. You have to move forward. I'd rather be alone as be around bad people. And there's been many periods in my life where I've chose to do that. It's a lot better than being around people that are going to try to control you and use you and hurt you and make you feel bad and manipulate you. I could write a book. That's why we did the podcast, right? I didn't write the book, so I did the podcast every week.
That's right.
To share my experiences and my ideas and my philosophies. They're not really my philosophies. These ideas have been around forever. We're just regurgitating them. You like that word?
Not if I'm not feeling well.
and giving it back to you in a different form. Okay. Well, I've probably bored everybody enough. What say you, sir?
Oh, well, you know how you talk about relationships and people that are married, boyfriend, girlfriend, things like that.
Yes.
Well, there was a study done. It was over 4 million Americans over a 7-year period.
Okay.
And they studied how relationship status impacts your cancer risk.
That's interesting.
Yes. 1 in 5. Let's see. I better get this
That's
right.
20%.
Has a much higher lifetime risk of cancer of the single person versus the people that were married or in a relationship.
That's interesting.
Now, when you break it down a little further, it talks about it was based on adults 30 years and older. They fell into two different categories. One that had been married, including divorced and widowed people, and those who never got married.
Okay.
But it was also broken down by people that went in for checkups, went to the doctor on a regular basis, and the gap wasn't as wide, but
Okay.
it got really wide based on the lifestyle choices of the single individual by smoking, drinking, STDs.
Okay.
So they said it was very noticeable in that group of people. So if you are single, don't drink, smoke, or get STDs, and then you have the same risk of cancer as the other people.
If you're married, don't do those things.
That's right.
Regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. So also,
I think about my past. I made a lot of mistakes, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm still paying for some of those mistakes.
Yeah.
That's another thing about life. You don't. Sometimes these mistakes last a long time. You got to be really careful what you do. and the judgments that you make.
Today is National Empanada Day. I didn't know what an empanada was.
What's an empanada?
It's basically a pastry that's either filled with either meat and potatoes and things,
okay.
or something sweet. So it's kind of like a turnover in a way, but I think they're popular, like more Latin communities. It's also National Zoo Lovers Day,
Ooh, I like zoos.
and it says this is interesting, National All Is Ours Day,
All
a
is
day to
ours.
appreciate nature and share what you have.
Wow.
And then this is the weirdest thing I've ever read. Today is National Draw a Bird Day.
Now that's
Draw a
even more
bird and
interesting.
share it with someone.
Oh
I
my
don't
goodness.
know why and what will happen when you do that. I don't know if you're gonna get slapped or laughed at or what, but that's a day
quite
worth
right.
celebrating.
Well, that's really interesting news. You always seem to have interesting news coming our way.
Interesting is one word.
I'm trying to be polite.
You need,
Is that all you got?
that's all I got today.
Man, we've bored everybody. We, it's plural, have bored everybody enough, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm not
Okay.
just gonna blame myself now.
Okay.
Add you into the equation.
I'm a part of it.
You are. Okay, guys, look. Just remember. Unless you're old and you can't remember. I've been around this guy too long, too much dry humor. If you don't give up, eventually the stars are going to line up. Speaking of stars, they're going to the moon. They went to the moon.
No.
Not landed, but they went around the moon.
Yeah.
Further than anybody's ever done unless... I don't know why they just don't go ahead and land. They did 50 years ago, and it's a big production now. At any rate,
Yeah.
the sophistication today is crazy compared to... I saw their landing 50 years. It was crazy, man. I know a lot of people don't believe we went to the moon, but trust me, we went to the moon. Trust me.
Famous
That's
last
a very impressive
words.
word, trust. If you don't give up, eventually the stars are going to line up. And when that happens, you're going to be a lot happier. You're going to be a lot better off. But until that time comes, and even after that time comes, just remember, the most important thing is every single day, don't forget, is to be positive.